why are gamers allowing, you know, the politics of gaming to ruin, you know, the fun side of gaming? Because here's the thing. There are always going to be things that happen in business that consumers do not agree with. Those things always exist. And there are always going to be examples of that. Perfect example is the release of Street Fighter V. I mean, I did not expect it to be as bad as it was because of the fact that they had so many betas. I didn't play a single beta because I really wanted to save my experience with the game until the game was actually released. But, you know, I thought that there being betas would have been a good thing for the game. And it seems like, you know, they obviously needed more time developing this game. But, you know, they released it. I'm sure they had their reasons for releasing the game in the state that it was in. And gamers obviously were not happy with that. And I'm not saying all gamers. I think it's really the market of gamers that aren't hardcore Street Fighter players. They may be fans of the game, but when I say players, hardcore players, I'm talking about people that get paid to play this game. People that play in tournaments that are broadcasted and streamed all over the internet. So if you're one of those people, I think the game was honestly released for those types of people in mind. And, you know, people who just want to casually play the game or enjoy the game kind of have to wait for that experience. And I can't understand why that would, you know, make a lot of people upset. But the truth of the matter is, or at least this is my take on things or how I feel about it, is that we've kind of created this market. We've created this monster that is, you know, the gaming industry today. You know, having broken games at launch is something that I believe comes from mainly console gamers not fighting or advocating for the right things at the right time. Years ago, you know, when these practices of pre-ordering or selling DLC first started, you know, I was one of the I guess extremists that were, you know, trying to tell gamers, don't pre-order a game, you know, don't buy DLC. And it was frowned upon. People were like, why would you tell people what to do with their money? And, you know, why can't you just enjoy what you're getting? And now, you know, I'm not saying those same exact people, but some of the people that I did kind of saying those things are now the same people that are upset that, you know, games are being released broken, or upset that their favorite games are going to go to another platform, you know? And it's like, you know, if you've never pre-ordered a game, if you've never subscribed to these shady practices that these businesses have been doing for some time now, I feel like you don't have a right to complain about the current state of gaming. You don't have a right to complain if you were okay with DRM. And then, you know, Quantum Break is now being released on the PC. You didn't have an issue with Xbox trying to fuck you up the ass in 2013. You shouldn't have an issue with Xbox trying to fuck you up the ass in 2016. You know, and the same goes for Capcom. I didn't like the fact that they made so goddamn many versions of Street Fighter 4. And, you know, I was upset from the jump when they released, you know, version after version after version, and you just went out and bought the last version, and if you don't buy the new version, you're just out the fucking loop. I mean, Capcom has shitted on their fucking audience, their fucking gaming market. They have shitted on them so many times. I don't understand how this could be a surprise to gamers at this point. But yet, You know, you have all of these guys out here making these rages and rant videos about the game being broken, and I've gotten to the point in my gaming, I guess, life where I just had to adapt to this, you know, type of community. I've had to adapt to games being this way because one gamer cannot just stop, doing something and the market will respond to it. If I were to just stop pre-ordering or stop buying games today, that wouldn't make a difference. That wouldn't do anything. Yeah, I'm sticking to my own principles, but the whole point is to get change. It's not to just stop gaming. I don't want to fucking play the new games that come out. But if I know that gamers as a whole are gonna just go along with shit, I have no fucking choice but to go along with shit because that's what's out there. That's what's there. Unless I can, develop my own games or make my own versions of games that I want to play, which I can't do. So I do get annoyed when I see, the outcry from gamers about, issues that are going on currently. Because it's like bittersweet. It's like too little too late. Now you're upset, but you could have did something and it was like, who cares type thing. And maybe that's not every person out there ranting and raving about this, but for the most part, I do believe that a lot of the things that are going on today is the fault of the gaming community. They allowed these businesses to get away with murder for so long. It's like you can't reverse it now. They've made so much money off of the bullshit. Now you're trying to reverse 360 the shit and it's not gonna fucking work. It's gonna laugh in your face because they're laughing to the fucking bank. So I know that, some people's intentions or some gamers' intentions aren't the same. I'm not saying that every gamer that's upset about Street Fighter is at fault, because obviously that's, what someone could take away from hearing this video of mine. But what I'm really trying to say is just think about, certain things before you go out and just have like a chip on your shoulder about, the current state of gaming. Just think about the real, reasons as to why things are the way they are. And don't let this shit, fuck up your experience. Like, I have a lot of friends that, refuse to buy certain games that they actually want to play because of their principles. And, to me, it's kind of like, well, here's the thing. If you don't want to play this game because, you really feel that vehemently opposed to it, then don't play it. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a bad experience for you. But if you're holding off on the game because you have these principles that, they do matter to you, but ultimately, they're just, your principles or your opinions, but you still really want to play a specific game, I would encourage you to just play the fucking game. Buy and play the games that you want to play and stop letting the politics of gaming ruin that for you, because those politics are always going to exist. I mean, there were politics that were, negative in gaming back in the 80s, It's like there's always going to be politics. I mean, I remember when the Dreamcast, disappeared. That shit hurt. I didn't want that to happen. I don't want to see Dreamcast go. I don't think, a lot of the gamers that exist today, the younger gamers, they don't know what that feels like, to be invested into a system and it just cease to exist. And, like the companies is like, you know what, we're done trying to make this console, we're moving on. I really do wish gamers in this era could see what that feels like, because it's not cool, It's definitely one of the worst things that could happen in gaming. And I don't know if that's going to be the case for the Xbox One in particular. I don't know. I really don't. I don't think that's going to be the case. I do believe that they're going to make another Xbox One. But, when we allow businesses to kind of get away with bad business, we can't expect good things to come from that, And if you've never pre-ordered a game, if you've never bought DLC, if you've never paid for an episodic game, then yeah, I could respect your opinion on you being upset about the current state of gaming. I could respect that, because I'm like, you know what, this guy has not contributed to the bullshit. This guy really, really wants to see things change, and they're showing that through their actions. But to me, I just see a lot of hypocrites, you know, like I see a lot of hypocrites, because I know most gamers who game have pre-ordered games, and most gamers who game in this era have subscribed to, you know, DLC, season passes, and all the practices that kill creativity in game development. Because, and I'll do another video on why I believe that those practices kill the creativity in video game development. That's not for this video. This video today is about, you know, gamers' attitudes towards gaming and how it needs to be readjusted, because this is a different era in time, man. We're not living in the golden era of gaming. This is not the golden age of gaming anymore. These are the dark times, yo. Okay? And you gotta accept it for what it is. These are dark fucking days, all right? Your games are coming out broken. That's what the fuck it is. Listen, man, I'm not happy that Street Fighter is broken, but I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this much. It's not gonna stop me from fucking having fun. I'm still gonna play the game. I'll find ways to have fun with that motherfucking game. Because you know what? At its core, with, you know, the characters that they've developed, I really truly enjoy the game. I don't like not being able to get online when I want to. I don't like the fact that a lot of the features of the game are bogged down to the online functionality of the game. I don't like that shit. But the game is fun. You know, when you do get an opportunity to play the game the way it's meant to be played, it is a fun game, and I don't think anybody can deny that. But there are issues, you know? There are issues. There have been issues. And this is just one of many. I hope that you guys got some insight. Maybe you didn't. Maybe this just rustled your jimmies. Maybe you're just upset that I made a video that maybe it may feel like it's about you. I honestly don't care. But what I do want you guys to do is really just think more about, you know, how you guys respond to things that happen in this gaming industry. Because a lot of the times, man, it's not that deep, man. It's not that serious. There are things to fight for. There are things that you should be upset about and rant and rage about. And I'm not saying this isn't one of them, but I'm saying that this should be a reminder for you in the future that if you don't want another Street Fighter V, if you don't want another Halo Master Chief Collection, and if you don't want to see some of your favorite games or your favorite exclusive games becoming multi-platform games, you have to speak up before the shit hits the fan. Don't wait until the shit hits the fan to say, you know what, that wasn't a good thing.